Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. Got something a little different. As you can see, the background's different than my normal garage. It's a little different, but it's kind of the same. As you can see, there's a Bear LS sitting behind me. Heads back there and everything. It is LC9 that we are going to put in my stepdad's frame over there. You can see it's all torn down, and what it is, it's a Wrangler. He decided that he wanted to LS swap his Wrangler because the little baby motor over there is just not going to cut it with the big tires and the cage and, you know, all the rock climbing stuff that he wanted to do with this thing. So we're going to go from, you know, little baby horsepower, little baby torque to a nice LS, probably make 4 and change with a cam and everything in it. I'm not doing anything crazy, it's just a stock rebuild. But we're going to stick a Brian Tooley Stage 2 truck cam in here that we have. Yeah, we got I called up Brian Tooley, and this is what they recommended was their Stage 2 truck cam. They said it's got almost the same specs as their Torquer cam, I think, but better something or another. I don't even remember. Stage 2 truck cam. You know, I got everything from Brian Tooley. You know, they have great, I got some stuff from GM, but through Brian Tooley. You know, they have all stamped multi-layer gaskets. I got the head gaskets from them, the oil pan gaskets, you know, the LS1 head guy. I got everything. I got lifters, lifter trays, GM head bolts, because we don't need anything fancy because there's going to be no turbo on this, so just factory head bolts, set of Delphi LS7 lifters, because GM lifters are freaking expensive. We got the front cover, because this was this a DOD motor? I don't even remember what motor it was. It might have had AFM, not DOD. I can't remember which one it was. But we got both the delete covers. We got the front cover, I got the valley cover. You know, this is factory GM. You can get through, yeah, see? Factory GM part. You don't need to go spend $200-300 on a billet one just to be fancy from a company. It has the O-rings, you know, because these motors, some of them came without the active fuel management. So they make a factory cover, and, you know, these things are like 50 bucks with the O-ring and gasket and bolts. You can go spend $300 on a billet one, but there's just no need for it. Absolutely no need. You know, we're converting over a 3-bolt cam gear, timing chain. I got everything. Every gasket, everything we need to put this motor together. So it is in LC9, because he wanted to go to aluminum, because it's, you know, 100 pounds lighter, and the amount of weight that's going to be, huh? No, LC9. The L33 is a Gen 3. This is a Gen 4. So he wanted the aluminum for the weight. So it's got a set of 799s on it that we're going to stick that new valve springs in. We tore it all apart, cleaned it up, inspected everything. Machine shop didn't do that great of a job cleaning it, but it'll work. You know, again, it's just a stock rebuild. You know, we have everything over here. Got the upgraded valve springs from BTR, pistons, you know, everything's laid out nice. But, yeah. Okay, so he had the delete cover. It was the AFM, not DOD. But everything's ready to go back in. Oh, we're gonna assemble the whole motor today. Maybe bolt it to this thing over here. Big old Tremec. Decided to go with a manual trans. See the LS specific bell housing, and it bolts, you know, you can see this big ass thing. It will still be 4-wheel drive, obviously. A little adapter plate for under the clutch and everything. Maybe bolt it to that. And yeah, there's just, he's got a host of parts laying everywhere for it. This pre-bent and notched roll cage has to get installed eventually. It looks pretty decent. It looks like it's got some good notching. I watched a video on it, well, kind of a video on the install, but that's got to get installed. You can see this thing's got big lockers on it and everything, all this suspension work, upgraded brakes, and look at the arms in this thing. Jesus. LS. Are these the motor mounts?
Yeah, I took the
the actual mount off. So these things, you know, this is like 1/4 inch steel. You gotta
my marks, yeah.
weld these things in, both sides. You know, in the steering boxes, got the other motor mount. Yeah, the LS will bolt in. Well, it's somewhat of a bolt in. It's bolt in once we weld everything into it. And yeah, that's it. So we'll go through, we'll film all this, I'll edit this all up, and we'll build a TJ Wrangler with an LS. It should sound pretty damn good. Oh look, see, he found a company. Now, there's a company that makes LSs to put in everything. And there's their swap radiator that bolts into the factory grill setup. How nice, that's a nice radiator. They weld that out nice. Comes like that, fan, everything, shroud, done. Very nice. Now, let's get to cleaning, spreading parts out, organizing, going from there. Later, we have almost a complete short block. Just got to stick the cam in it, but now we're gonna rods, pistons, and cranker in. Thing spins over pretty smooth. Nothing, you know, no binding, nothing crazy. She's good to go. It, you know, it's all stock stuff. It's all stock stuff that came out of this motor. You just got to make sure, keep your rod caps, because they're cracked rods, so you got to make sure that's on the right side. Make sure everything's in the right order. Cranks torqued down, pistons in, rods in, torqued and everything. We'll spin it over. Get the brake and stuff here.
Knocked it off a couple times.
We'll clean up the cam bearings. Slide the cam into it. You know, we get the timing chain done, back covers on. You know, the cam plate on. We'll get the front one on, get the chain onto it, the oil pump on, then we can get the pan, pickup, and all that crap on it, and be completely done with the bottom end. And then we'll get the lifter trays in it, and then we'll move on to assembling the heads. Hi. Hi, handsome. What are you doing? Come here. Oh, come here. What do you got? Come here. Hi. 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 What? You say hi. Say hi. Hi. Huh? You want to go play? Go play. Go. Okay, short block is 100% done. Lifters, lifter trays bolted in, head gaskets on, dowels on, oil pan is on. We stuck the truck crank pulley in. We don't know if we're going to be able to use this or not. We're going to find out once we set that in, because there's not much room in this Jeep. But she turns over beautifully. It's looking good. I started to put the heads together already. I got all the stock style valve seals in. We're going to run the single spring from Brian Tooley, because this isn't a crazy high lift cam. What are the specs here? That's the specs for the stage 2 truck cam. So it's not crazy high lift, you know. It's pretty decent. So we're going to get this all assembled. And once they are, I'm going to slam them on the block and torque them down. valve springs, retainers in, valve locks, make sure everything's good, everything moves nice and freely.
Extension? Oh, it's the right side.
And now we gotta torque them down. We got 3/8 gun. Just playing. I got my snap on out here. I don't know what the torque specs are. Stock bolt or the degree because it's torque T.
What? That didn't sound right.
No. All right, day one, wrap. They actually got it off the stand. Motor's completely done, top to bottom, except for miscellaneous stuff. Like you can see the oil bypass thingy by the oil filter. Needs an oil pressure sensor. There's a broken exhaust stud that I tried to get out here by the welding nut trick. And after 8 of them, it started to get loose, but then it would crack once it did it. But I need to bring my drill bits over and drill that out. You know, it needs a new drain plug, a couple of things here and there. Apparently it needs a special starter. We just read in the directions. But got the whole transmission, clutch, flywheel all bolted up to it. Let me tell you, transmission is fucking heavy for a 5-speed too. That thing probably weighs more than my 400. But it's ready. It's pretty much, this can be mocked up now. Get the motor mounts in, and this can be mocked up in the car. In the, that pile of metal over there. All right, so stay tuned. We'll have more maybe when this thing's in.